Alright, welcome in. This is the first just real long form video I've done on my channel, and it's also kind of like a voice reveal, but yeah, this is sketchbook number 6. I'll just go over the sticker tour real quick, because whenever I usually watch a sketchbook tour, the sticker tours are usually pretty long, so I'll try to keep it short this time. So for all of these little stickers here, they're from an Etsy seller called Ciro Candy. I got it as a mystery pack with a bunch of different sticker sheets, and you can see that I use a bunch of their stickers in here. I'm pretty sure that almost all of the stickers I use in here are from a package I ordered from Ciro Candy, and I really like their stuff. I think it's really cool. And these 4 are just from a Christmas present, so not much to say about that. On the back, these 2 are just from the Christmas present. It might have been a birthday present, but I don't know. And then these 2 are from an Etsy seller called yayyy. Her products are really great. I think you should check them out if you want to get some like video game merch. These 2, I don't know where you could get them, but these 3 are from a seller called Loon. I think I just got it as like a Christmas or birthday present, so I don't really know much about their products, but from what I've seen, I think their stickers and keychains are pretty cute, so maybe I'll check it out sometime. And for my sketchbook thickness, it's my thickest sketchbook yet. This is like compared to my hand. Whoa. But yeah, I tried making it more thicker at the end, but I'm pretty satisfied, and this little tab right here is halfway through. So with that out of the way, we can get started. I started this sketchbook the summer before sophomore year, and I ended it the end of summer break before sophomore year. And for this picture, it's just a little it was just a little drawing of myself I did. That was back when I had long hair. I have it cut now, and I like it being cut more than it just being straight and long. But yeah. And then for all of these little areas over here, it's just from a Tokidoki package. You'll see a bunch of like little scrapbooking areas in my sketchbook. I call those spreads, in case you don't know what that means. But yeah, for my first official page, we have just the regular testing page and some just drawings copied off from Pinterest. And I got this from like an arcade. One of my friends let me get it because they got more tickets than I did, because I just wasted all my tickets on Beat Saber. But yeah, I don't know if you can see it all that well, but I got this Savannah one. And then this is what I was just talking about. This is my first spread of this sketchbook. This is of my OC Mel, and you'll definitely see later in the sketchbook, but I think I've really improved in drawing bodies. Well, not like a ton, because in this sketchbook, I think you'll notice that I mostly focus on drawing heads. I think in this sketchbook, I kind of focused on like head angles and how to find my style and everything. And I think I achieved that goal, but for my next sketchbook, I think I'm gonna plan to focus more on just anatomy in general and maybe some real life studies, so I can know how to draw bodies correctly instead of just looking off of Pinterest references. Also, sorry if my voice is annoying. I've heard that my voice is the kind of voice that is annoying, so whatever, I don't really care. But yeah, I think this spread is decent. It's definitely not the best spread I've ever made in this book, but I like it. Then this is from a book series called Keeper of the Lost Cities. I decided to draw Tiergan and Finton, and I think it was here that I really realized that I should start studying like different face angles, because if you notice through the next few pages I make, I know how to draw like bodies and everything like decently, I guess, but it's just the front facing. It's just front facing, you know? I just didn't really know how to do anything other than just the front view. And maybe like a side view, but yeah. And then this is a spread of one of my other OCs. Her name is Aisha, and she's also one of my favorite OCs. She's really pretty. And she's like a forest guardian, because my main story that I put most of my OCs in is like a fantasy world. So, and there are these sort of temporary deities, I guess, that rule over different portions of the world, and they're called guardians. And Aisha is one of them. She's a guardian of a certain forest in the eastern region. And then we have Daichi. He's also part of my fantasy world, and he's also the main character of the book series I'm trying to write, but who knows when that'll get finished, if it does. I think Daichi was also my first like real OC, I guess. Yeah, we've kind of like grown with each other, and I've made like a redesign or two of him, and I think he looks okay. And just a behind the scenes of the spread. And this is Priya. I didn't really do any spreads of her in this book, in the sketchbook, but Priya, another one of her names is Miss Howe. And they're basically like the love interests, but Daichi is like trying to revive his dead fiancé. But I won't go deeper into it, but just let me know if you want me to drop a lore video on my OCs, because I'd be happy to share it. It's just, I don't think I can share it all in one video. So yeah. And then we have Doyle. He was a new OC that I tried making at the time, but he's definitely not one of my favorite OCs. I just don't really care for him all that much. I think I should really try redesigning him to make him look not as boring, I guess. I mean, this moves. I think that's cool. But yeah, this spread's not bad. I don't think it's good either. Then this page, it's definitely not my favorite. It's just random doodles, and I tried doing like manga panel redraws, stuff like that. And this character right here, I don't think I ever really drew her in my sketchbook, but her name is Athen. I should definitely draw her more in my next sketchbook, if I do decide to draw her, because I don't know, I really need to fix a lot of my characters' designs and make them more appealing instead of looking just pretty boring. This was when I had my OCs, I took personality tests as my OCs, if that's an idea you've heard of before. But I took one for Daichi, and he's an ENTP. I took a test for MBTI types, which is something I really like. Oh, my cat. Ash, hi! Oh, you good girl. Don't block the sun, okay? Okay, so... oh, she's going back down. Whatever. And then I took a personality test from one of my other OCs. His name is Kovi, and he is an ESTJ. And you'll see more of him later in my sketchbook, but this is a list of all my OCs, which I need to add to, because I made like an OC or two more that I need to add to this list. But you won't see all of these OCs in here, because I just don't draw some of them, and some of them are just from back when I was younger. Then we have just some cutouts from when I went to Hobby Lobby to shop for Ren Fair and everything. And if you don't know what Ren Fair is, it's like a fair where they have, it's like a medieval fantasy like fair, you know? And I had a lot of fun with it. I went with my friend. Then we have this song, this Miku song. It came out recently at the time, and I was really into it, so I just drew the communist Miku. I think that's what she's supposed to be, but I'm not sure, so don't sue me, I guess. Then we have just a coffee shop drawing that I copied off of Pinterest. My family thinks it looks super cool, but I literally just copied it off of Pinterest, so it's whatever. Then these next few pages are on character development, and I watched a video and some shorts on like questions to ask your character, and I think that helped me out. I just only did it for Daichi because he's like my favorite, or he was my favorite at the time. I don't know if he is now. But yeah, just some questions to ask your characters to help flesh them out more a little bit, you know? Then I tried doing a design of fairies, but all it is basically just Zelda copied. The Zelda fairies copied. Because when I was younger, my brother used to play Zelda Ocarina of Time, and that's how I know it. And I have a lot of good memories, and I still like listening to the music. Zelda music is like peak, you know? But enough rambling. Sorry if I ramble a little bit, but whatever. Then I just drew Mossy Socks, he's like a fantasy like YouTuber, you know? And I think it was here that I was really like, oh my gosh, I really need to study faces. Because I hadn't yet. And so I did. You can check out the videos I watched on my channel. I have a playlist called Art. And I just watched a bunch of videos on facial anatomy, just like the basics, nothing too complicated. But yeah, I think it really helped. I also watched a video on different face angles and how to do the face mask method, and I think that actually really helped me out a lot. Yeah, and I tried doing it with different guys, and I tried copying some of the images that the artist used in the video, and I was really glad with the result, because this is like a day or two after this guy, because I watched a bunch of videos, and I was really happy with the result, and I still am. I'm really glad I watched those videos. So if you want to check them out, I think they'd really help your art get better if you're looking to study different face angles. But yeah, it's also a little drawing my sister made. Megamind, I don't know. I don't know what she thinks. But yeah. Then I just watched another video on face anatomy. Nothing really much to say about this page. Yeah. Then this was me trying to like implement what I learned in the videos into like actual drawings. So I tried taking some inspo from Pinterest, and I drew a couple of Pinterest guys. You know, Viking men. You know? Anyways, this was me practicing more face angles, and this was me trying it out on my OCs. This is Aisha, this is Doyle, and this is Daichi. And my favorite one is definitely Daichi. I think he looks so cute. Like look at this man. Look at this beautiful specimen of a human being. Yes, he is a human, even though he has elf ears. The lore is kind of depressing, so you know how it is. But then I just watched a video on expressions, and yeah, I think it was okay, I think, from what I learned at least. And then I got this Mermacorno thingy because I really like Tokidoki. I've liked it ever since I was like a little kid, and my sister and I would always like play with her Tokidoki stuff. And well, anyways, I just got one of these, and I got this Electro Girl, and I think she's really pretty. So then these are just more of my OCs. This is Covey, who I mentioned earlier. He eats people, but he's basically like a parasite who changes his appearance so he can make people trust him, so he can eat them. And you know how it is. Then we have Anola. She's like a time guardian, similar to Aisha. They're both guardians, just of different areas. And this is Mel again, the person you saw like at the first part of the sketchbook. And oh wait, I skipped a page. And this is Mel's mentor, who died of malnutrition. Just let me know if you guys want the lore drop, because it's kind of hard to talk about this sketchbook because I've just drawn so many of my OCs in here, and I'm glad I did. It helps me flesh them out more and everything. Just a couple of Pinterest references, but don't look at this one because it's really bad. And this is supposed to be a guy, okay? But it's whatever. Yeah, and then I just did some pose outlines from Pinterest and everything to help me get my body references down, which I definitely haven't yet, but it's okay. Then this was when I was like thinking of studying like squares and like different angles so I could start learning perspective, which I never did. But yeah, I think that these few pages that I did drawing squares and everything, it was really fun actually. Like, I don't know what's up with me and how much I like drawing squares, but I thought it was like really fun, you know? And then I just did some like doodles from Pinterest, and this is a character from a Netflix movie. I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty good. Then we have just more squares and me, because I love boxes. I love them so much. Yeah. Yeah, just more boxes. Nothing to say about this page. Then more boxes, because I was getting kind of obsessed at drawing them, and a little Daichi and Priya interaction. I thought it's kind of cute. I just used Pinterest for like the outline of the bodies and everything. And for this one too, it's just me holding Daichi, and that's me and Daichi, and just like a little body that I tried doing. And yeah, and that's Asterix. He's one of my other OCs. He's also probably my only OC so far that isn't set in my fantasy world, besides my really old ones that I haven't really drawn at all. But Asterix is part of like another story that I've been trying to develop at least a little bit, but I'll talk about it later in the sketchbook tour. Oh, then we have another spread of Aisha. I really like making spreads of her. She's just so fun to make spreads of, you know? This spread was like based on like pollution stuff, and this is supposed to be like a saw cutting down trees or whatever. And yeah, it spins, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah. Then I have Skrunk. That's not how he actually looks like. I just tried making him look more human. He's a guardian of... He's like... It's hard to explain because he's in the story I'm working on, he is kind of a big part of it, but I can't really explain too much of his lore because I haven't even really figured it out yet. So yeah, that's Skrunk. I used to draw him all over my school whiteboards, and he used to cover every place in the school, basically. Then another spread of Aisha. you can see down here that I covered this up with sticky notes because I tried drawing her hands once and I failed, and then I tried drawing it twice and I also failed, and then maybe I tried it a third time, maybe I didn't, but I ended up just covering it up with a circle hand, which is, I think it's something that all of us have done at least one point in our lives, okay? So don't judge me, okay? Then we have Kofi again. I like this drawing, it's pretty cute, and that's how he actually looks like, more or less. But yeah, definitely not my least favorite page. I think it's pretty cute. Then this is Stell from Honkai Star Rail. Honkai Star Rail is probably one of my favorite, if my favorite game, but I haven't really been able to play it lately. So I just recently finished doing the Penacony quest, and now I'm on the monkeys. I don't know what that quest is called, okay? Then I have Hermes from Epic. He's from that one Epic animatic, if you know what I mean. And if you don't know what I mean, sorry, because I'm sorry, I don't know the creator's name. But if I do, I'll list it here. Then I have a spread of Anola that I think is pretty cute. She has her little Time Guardian halo, which is something I just made up, and I think she looks pretty cool. Then we have a little Jiao, or however you say his name, spread. It's definitely not my favorite page. It's kind of scribbly and everything, but whatever. Then we have, oh my gosh. So at this point, like episode 5 was like recently released, and I used to be like, oh my gosh, Jax is so hot, but now that people are talking about his personality more, I'm like, yeah, I kind of agree with them more, because Jax, even though Jax is like a nice person on the inside, his actions aren't really justifiable, you know? But before I start rambling about it, I'm just gonna go over the other pages before I start rambling about Jax. But hopefully episode 6 will explain more about him, because he needs a redemption arc. That's all I gotta say. But I'm pretty sure episode 6 is gonna focus more on Jax, at least that's what I've heard. But yeah, then this little page is on one of my other OCs, Eva. She kind of looks like me, but she kind of doesn't. Whatever. She basically got cursed by a fairy to slowly turn into a tree, and that's why she has these little wood markings on her and the little wisteria horns. Yeah. This is a newer OC that I made. Her name is Piper. She's basically just giving Kiki's delivery service vibes, you know? And also that one girl from when Marnie was there, you know, that one girl with the glasses, she kind of reminds me of her, to be honest. Like, doesn't this kind of look like her? Or maybe you can't see it because it's kind of dark in here. Whatever. And this is her familiar. It's a little ghost kitty. I think he's really cute. Oh my gosh. Woo! This is Argos, and he's definitely one of my favorite OCs. Yeah, his name is Argos, and he's like a sheep herder. And yeah, these are the little like sheepy guys he herds. They're called puffkins. It's like a little species I made. He's like in his like mid to late 30s, and he's low-key having like a midlife crisis right now. But he's so cute. Not in a weird way, okay? Not in a weird way. He's like my son, okay? And then I looked off of Pinterest for little staff ideas, because you know how like shepherds have staffs. And then I got, here, let me just, then I got this one, on Pinterest, and then I decided to turn it into a bow, because it kind of curved a little bit. And That's why he has like a quiver over here. It's a quiver to hold like leaves and everything, like herbs, but it also has his arrows for his bow that also doubles as a staff. So I think that was a pretty cool character design idea to add. Then this was a little spread I did of him. It's cute. I don't like how I did the background. I just kind of like how I did the pose and everything. But yeah, the background's definitely not my favorite. Then this page is just a random page. Yeah. But bonus points if you know who this lady is, okay? If you say who this lady is in the comments, I'll pin you. If I know how to. I think I do. But, oh yeah, like I mentioned before, this was when I was just finishing up the Penacony quest and I decided to draw the main 3. This drawing of Sunday, he kind of looks squished. I don't know if I'm imagining it, but he kind of looks squished. And then this Tingyun drawing, it's not my favorite, but I think it's cute. And the Robin drawing is definitely my favorite. But yeah. Then, oh my gosh, I started reading Witch Hat Atelier at this point, and Quiffrey, oh my gosh. Quiffrey, this man. Yeah, just this man, you know? I'm not gonna expand further. Then this is a little Daichi drawing, and that is his dead wife, or not wife, fiance. But yeah, just Daichi and his fiance. You know how it is. Then we have Argos, and fun fact, all these little flowers in his quiver / herb place, they're all poisonous flowers. And you can see a little arrow stashed over here, hidden somewhere. It says poison in the background because that's low-key connected to his lore, which I haven't fully figured out yet. So, maybe I'll tell you when I do, but maybe I won't. This is Diluc from Genshin Impact. I haven't really played Genshin Impact in like years. I think I really stopped playing when they were like in the middle of doing the Inazuma updates, but yeah, I remember Diluc, and I remember that I was low-key in love with him, I think. But that was years ago, so don't quote me on that. This is just a little interaction between Argos and one of my younger OCs, Evelyn. Okay, don't go after me on this, because you know how little kids always say the most out-of-pocket stuff? That's what I was trying to illustrate here. But yeah, I have the idea that Evelyn and Argos are like really distant cousins, and I thought that was a kind of fun idea, and I think I'll make it canon. This is just my brain rot page. Nothing much here. But this drawing right here of Mel, it's low-key connected to her lore, because after her mentor died, she low-key became like a germaphobe, and so yeah, that's kind of connected to her lore, you know? Even if it is a brain rot page. At this point I realized that I hadn't done a spread for Piper yet, so I just did that real quick. Not my favorite spread, but I think it's okay. I like how I didn't mess up the hands like how I do on most of my spreads. And then I was like, oh wow, I think I really need to study hands more, based on what that was, probably. And I failed miserably, except for this one. I think this one's decent. Yeah. This is my Honkai Star Rail page. This sparkle joke, it was funnier in my head, okay? So just don't read it, it's kind of cringy. And then I have a little spread of Argenti, because I had some stickers. I had some like flower stickers and they reminded me of Argenti, so I just drew him. And it's not my favorite page. I think it was at this point that I realized that all of my drawings were kind of like forced to look like good, you know? I mean, this doesn't look good, but I'm just saying. I tried way too hard on my drawings. So I decided to take a step back and make my sketches more messy, and I think that really helped. So this is a little drawing of Daichi. This is Evelyn, a more detailed drawing of her. Just some Argos, and then I tried making a new character, which I didn't really like, but I tried fleshing him out more, and this man, his name is Ciro, and he is the love of my life, low-key. Oh, also I forgot to mention, but we're halfway through now with the tab. It was halfway through on this Argos spread. Or before it. But yes, he is my son. He is my son, and I love him dearly. But I decided to make him a mask since he's in like the police force basically. And I didn't like the raven mask, so I tried making it more owl themed, and I was like, ooh, this man is so attractive. And he is attractive. That's why he's my son. Yeah, but this was the first concept drawing I really did of him and his mask. And then I got obsessed with him and started drawing him throughout the next few pages. This is the whole reason he wears his mask most of the time. He's basically like in a police force in the sky, because in my fantasy world there are like skylands, and that's where he lives. And yeah, I just did more doodles of him. And this is like a soju bottle thingy, but I promise I'm not a drunkard. I'm not a drunkard. I swear, guys. I swear. I just got this from my parents and everything. But yeah, I really like this drawing. I think it's probably my favorite drawing of Ciro. Yeah, then the little hello. More drawings of him, and I got the idea that his little horn ear thingies on the top of his head, that they had like little sort of like a wire material inside, so he could bend his ears for more like aerodynamicness when he's flying. But yeah, and then a little cute Ciro down below. Then this page is just a little thing of characters my OCs low-key relate to, or like they could relate to, because I don't know about you, but why does this drawing of Ciro low-key look like Till from Alien stage? Maybe I'm just imagining it, but and he also looks like that one guy from like the second book of Ouran High School Host Club. Like in the extra story, there's like there's like this guy who kind of looks like Ciro, to be honest. And I didn't really do that on purpose, but it's whatever. Yeah. And then I just drew more of him. And I had the idea that his mask could be like enchanted, that he put it on once and then he was never able to take it off because it actually like fused with his face. But then I was like, no, that's not really a good idea for this character in particular, but for another character I should probably use it, and I did, which you'll see later on with little Juny. She's so pretty. She's so pretty. But yeah, I just told him to brush his hair because his hair is so messy and disgusting and crusty. Ignore this page, basically. There's not really anything I want to say about this page. It's kind of bad. Just more doodles on my OCs. Argos, Ciro, Daichi. And I tried drawing Doyle again, but I did him so dirty with his hair. Like, I'm so sorry, Doyle. I'm so sorry. And then, I really like this page, or these pages. This was my first spread of Ciro, which is really pretty. I love it so much. He's such a cutie pie. And then just some rake and doodles, and a little Mob and Dimple from Mob Psycho 100. I actually really like these drawings. They're so cool. This was me drawing down a dream of like an apocalypse dream I had, where these like bugs bit people and like infected them and everything. It was a pretty cool dream, actually. Maybe I'll talk about it, but maybe I won't. Just no promises. Then this is me illustrating in a painful page how much I need this mob plushie. I need him. I need him. Like, is he on Amazon or something? Just please, mob plushie owners, tell me where you got him. Then this is some little doodles of Kinger, from the Amazing Digital Circus, and Kinger is definitely my favorite character. He's such a cutie pie. But yeah. Then this was some, like a video or two I watched on, like job interviews and stuff. And this is Juny. This is Juny. This is Juny. This is Juny. Yeah, this is Juny. And she's the person that I had the cursed mask idea go off of. Yeah, she wears a cursed mask that she can't take off, and she also has diachromatic vision, which, fun fact, is also the same type of vision that bunnies have. They can only see blue and green. And this is probably my favorite spread. Hold on for a moment. Okay, anyways, as I was saying, this is probably my favorite spread in my entire sketchbook. I think, like the fluidity of the pose I made, and just the freedom I did with the wind blowing in this direction, and just the fact that it's Juny, and the background. I'm actually like happy with this background for once. But yeah, I really like this spread. I think it's so pretty. Then just some free-run doodles. I don't really like these two, but this one's decent, probably because I copied the pose off of the free-run character design thingy. But this was when my drawing motivation, I think, started getting lower, because I think after I did this spread, I was like, no. But I did still make a pretty drawing, and I'll give you a few seconds to guess who this character is, but as I was saying earlier, I think I really improved, at least a little bit, in how to draw bodies throughout this sketchbook. This is Mel. This is the same person that you saw in the beginning of the sketchbook. Like, look at this puny aw little girl, and then I'm so happy with it. She doesn't really do well with frills, so that's why I just did this little drawing. Yeah, I think it's pretty cute. But this was me doing a little height comparison between Daichi and Miss Hao. Yeah, their heights aren't too different, but yeah. Let's see, then this was a little animal thingy. I looked at some animals off of Pinterest and just copied it off here. And this was when I watched a video on urban sketching tips, because I was about to go on a trip at the time, and I wanted to watch a video on how to urban sketch so I could maybe draw a scene or two. It continues on this page. And then I watched another video on just extra problems to give your OCs, like a little curse, not anything too serious, or making them afraid of something and giving them social habits. I think the video was pretty helpful. That's probably on my art playlist, but I'm not sure. So then this was the story I was talking about earlier in the book with asterisks. It's basically the idea, it's kind of like a sci-fi theme where the planets throughout the universe, they have like a soul inside of each of the planets, and these souls have a ton of energy inside of them, and there are these people that others call reapers, where they take the souls and they take the energy from it, and each of the reapers have just like different motivations for doing so, but I thought that was a pretty cool idea, but you could definitely see my motivation and my just art skills just heading downwards, I guess. And usually when I go through this little like art block period, I don't try to force myself through it a lot of the time. I usually just wait a week or two, or like 3 weeks, and then my motivation comes back. And that's probably what happened with this area over here. But this is my drawing of Asterix, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I just don't like it. Yeah, this was me trying to make a new sci-fi character for that story, but it failed miserably. And you can see why on the next page, because this was me trying to make a drawing of him without his mask on, and it looks so painfully bad. But yeah, this was when I realized that I low-key have a short period of art block, but I tried pushing through. I made like a drawing or two from Pinterest references. Then this was me trying to find, like, I looked on Pinterest and I found a bunch of different people's OCs, and I looked at their hair, like each of the hairs in particular, to try to get some ideas for how to do my own character's hair. And this was when I made a character based on like a Shiba Inu, which is a guardian lion based on like Okinawan myth. But yeah, I don't really have a name for him. He looks okay. I think he looks nice, but I think he was more of like a one-time drawing, you know? Because if I had to imagine drawing him on a daily basis, I would freak out, because his design for his hair especially, it's kind of complicated. So yeah, I think that was just a one-time thing. Maybe I'll make him into a real character someday though. I think this was like a video I watched on anatomy, but it didn't really go well. Yeah, you can definitely see my art skills like deteriorating. But yeah, me trying to do bodies and trying to make a new character, but I ended up not making him into a character, so... Oh, and then you can see on this page, this is when my art motivation started to go back. It was at this point that I probably took like a week or 2 or 3 of like a break from there to here, but yeah. Or maybe it was on the next page that I took a break, but yeah, I really like this. I really like this drawing in particular. This is Billy from Zenless Zone Zero, which is a video game made by Hoyoverse. But I haven't really played ZZZ recently. I kind of stopped playing it a while ago, but I think I probably stopped playing it at the point where Burnus came out, probably. But I think I started playing it in like the beginning of when the game got released, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe a little after. But yeah, this is Billy. He is my son. Yep. But that's so embarrassing. But I really like this drawing in particular. These two are okay, but this is a little quote. I think the quote is from Megan from Cat's Eye, but I don't know for sure, so don't quote me on that either. But then just some character like doodles, but stop whatever you're doing. Stop whatever you're doing. Like, if you're watching this video while you're like drawing and everything, just stop. I need you to take a look at this man. Look at him. I'm gonna have you stare at him for 10 more seconds, because this drawing is the embodiment of perfection. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, and this was the story idea I got for the book I'm writing now. it has Daichi as the main character, and it's basically him trying to go on a journey of how to save his dead fiance. But yeah, I haven't written too much, but if you guys want to be better readers, let me know in the comments, and I could probably add you to a document as like a commenter or something. But yeah. Then this was me trying out perspective a little bit for like a scene. I think it was from a Pinterest reference, and I like this. I think it's pretty cool. This was a spread on Aisha again. You understand how much I like making spreads of Aisha. This was another soju bottle stamp, and just like I said before, I'm not a drunkard. I just got it from my parents, okay? But yeah, I think I made this little strawberry spread, which was something I'd really wanted to do for a while, since I had so many like little strawberry accessories and everything, like a lot of strawberry stickers and just a bunch of accessories. So I found a good post reference on Pinterest. And yeah, I just drew Aisha eating a strawberry cake. I think it's cute, but if I had to change something, I would move her mouth a little bit more to the right and probably make her hands look better, because they look kind of small and crusty, but whatever. This was me when I drew a character's somebody's OC. We did like a little art trade, and if you wanted to see what they gave me, this is it. I'll supposedly put the picture here if I can, but whatever. This was a little drawing of scenery, but it's not that good, to be honest. And this was when I tried using a fountain pen that I bought for like $1. I just bought it for like $1, and it's like one of those old-fashioned pens with like the tip that goes like big and then small, if you understand what I'm talking about. And I love this pen so much. It's so good. And as you can see at the bottom, yeah, but I drew Ciro without his mask, and then I tried doing a little redesign of Asterix. I gave him some hair, finally, and he looks so much cuter now. But yeah. This was a drawing of Psyche from Psyche K, and I think at this point I drew it when I was watching like the newest Sketchbook Tour from Derpy Eve, which is... Derpy is probably my favorite art YouTuber. Their art is like so pretty. And I saw that I was trying to figure out what I should do to make my faces look better, and I saw how their faces were like realistic-ish and how they drew them longer than how I usually draw them. So I tried doing that. I tried making the face longer, and I didn't really like it, but I tried redrawing it on digital, because at this point I was starting to learn how to do digital art, and this is my first digital art piece. I'll try to post it here if I can, but I thought that was okay. So like maybe like 3 days later, I redrew Psyche. I like took this and put it on my digital account, and I just kind of traced it but made it better. And I really like the result. I'll put it here if I can. But yeah. And then this was when I started to figure out that there are these like figurines on Amazon, and they're called it's called Peach Riot, and I think I like fell in love with these figurines. They're so pretty, and I have my own bias. This is Gigi. I drew all 3 of the members, and this is Gigi. I just drew her in a couple of different outfits, and This was her fairy one, and I think this is one of her outfits from like the original pack. If I ever bought a figurine, I'd probably buy either one of the fairy ones or one of the ones from the original packs, not the Rush Hour ones. And then this is my drawing of Poppy. This was her in one of her fairy outfits. And I kind of like the way I did this like messy spread on the other side and then just drew her on this side. But I don't like how small I made her forehead, to be honest. And then for the next page, I will cover a part of it because no looks. But this is Frankie. She's my bias in the band. She's so pretty. Yeah, I drew her in, I think it was one of her original outfits from like the original pack. And she's so pretty. I know this hat is supposed to be red, but I just made it pink. Yeah, I tried doing like a little sparkly. I used my glitter pens. Oh my gosh, I should show you those. I'll show you those at the end. But then I just drew the little cat. I don't know its name though. Then this is also one of my favorite spreads. I did it of Frankie, and I think it's pretty cute. I used a marker that I found just recently. It's like, I got it from like a random place in my house, but it says like spiralography or something. I don't know. I'll show it to you at the end. But let me flip the page and show you the absolute masterpiece. Yes, I spent so long on this. This is Miku, but I kind of like made her in my own way. I gave her like some bubble braids, and I gave her like a jellyfish themed outfit, sort of like an underwater theme. And I also, this is probably my favorite background for a spread because I've made spreads before, but none of them have been like really ocean themed. And I had a bunch of like ocean themed like scrapbooking material and everything. And I had some of the, I had an ocean sticker pack. And I was finally able to use it. And I was so happy that I was able to use it because it's a pretty sticker pack. I just didn't get to use it up till now. And then I just used some background stuff from a Tokidoki pack. And in case you're wondering, I got this girl, Coralina, I think that's her name. But I got that like a while ago. I think this is a pretty old Tokidoki mystery box. Yeah, but this is probably my favorite background that I've ever done. It has sort of like a foil. I think I got it from like maybe a bag or something, but I don't know. But this Miku drawing, it was fun to do, but it was kind of a pain because, as I said before, I used the same pen that I used for the previous spread, and I'll show it to you real quick. Let me just get it. Okay, so this is a marker that I used for most of the spread here. It says Spirograph. And I don't know where it's from, but yeah, it was kind of a pain to do because this marker, it like ran out so often. So I had to kind of like do this to sort of get it to go. And I don't even know if it's like a marker or a pen. It kind of seems like both, but yeah, it was just such a pain to do. And I spent like probably like multiple hours just trying to do her hair and the outline of her outfit and everything. But at one point I just decided that it was kind of useless to do. So I just got one of my darker blue markers, and I think it matched probably perfectly, so you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But yeah, I was just tired of using this because it kept like running out and then going back in, if you understand what I mean. And I'll show you the sparkly markers real quick. it's from I think it says Ciro Rich. I got it from like a marker pack. And it's like 3 sparkly markers, but they're so pretty. I like using them when I'm able to. But I'm usually never able to. Those are the 3 that I got. But yeah, I ended it on the 5th of August, 2025. And yeah, I think that on this sketchbook I really, like I said before, I really focused on drawing faces and everything. And I'm glad I did, but I think on my next sketchbook I'm really gonna start focusing on the body, like everything else but the face. But yeah, this is probably definitely one of my favorite drawings. I spent so much time on it and I just really like it. It's just like my own version of Miku. I think it's pretty cute. It's kind of like jellyfish inspired. But yeah. And that is the end. I hope you enjoyed this. Wow. It's practically an hour long. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the sketchbook tour. Let me know down below what page was your favorite, because I definitely have a few favorite pages of my own. But yeah, just thanks for watching, I guess. Yeah, but the next sketchbook probably won't be as exciting, so if I do make a sketchbook tour, maybe I'll do a sketchbook tour on all my old sketchbooks, like the ones before number 6. But just let me know if you want a video like that. But yeah, thanks for watching.